Hey man, it's the unapologetic gent. I'm back. Just wanted to give a recap of the games I watched today. Watched three Premier League games. So let's just kick it off. Give my thoughts, my opinions. Rocking the Manchester United jersey today because CR7 is back over there, and just wanted to give respect to my man Paul Pogba, man. One of the best midfielders of his generation. Um, so the first game, woo, Manchester City versus Arsenal. Manchester City blitzed them, man. Even though they had a player sent off, didn't matter. Game was never in doubt. And I will say, Arsenal. I mean, this is the worst start they've had. In 70 years, just about. I would say there's some positives. One, first 5 minutes, Arsenal looked very good. I mean, so if they could take something from that and try to sustain a whole game, be fine. I mean, they have no points, zero point zero goals in their first three games. But the reality is, let's be honest, no one expected you to beat Manchester City. No one expected you to beat Chelsea. We did expect you to beat Brentford, but I mean, really, at this point, you should only have 3 points. I mean, if we're being honest, when the schedule came out, based on the schedule and what you guys have done. And I would say the other good thing is that most of your best players aren't fit. So I mean, that team that I saw today, that's not your best 11. I don't know what Arteta thinks your best 11 is. I would say your best 11 is probably Tierney at left back. Not probably, definitely Tierney at left back, Gabriel at center back, Ben White at center back, and I try to play Maitland-Niles at right back, to be honest, because Cedric and Bellerin are washed. Chambers is not a right back. I mean, he's not even good enough to play center back in the Premier League, so I don't know how he's getting games at right back. And Cedric was just, he's just average. Midfield, Thomas Partey and Lokonga didn't play today. That's probably your best midfield based on what you have. I know Xhaka's going to play games, but let's be honest, Lokonga has looked good since he's come to Arsenal, and Thomas Partey is a level above Xhaka. And then out wide, Pepe didn't play. On the right, he's probably your best right winger. Saka's probably your best definitely your best left winger. And then, Alba up top, Aubameyang up top. And then in the 10 position, I mean, it's really flip a coin in my opinion with Smith Rowe and Odegaard. Neither one of them score a lot of goals. They don't give a lot of assists. But I would say that Smith Rowe will definitely do a job, and he's an Arsenal kid through and through. So maybe that's preferable, but that's really your best 11. So I would say that team should be able to beat the majority of teams in the Premier League. But to be honest, you guys should be able to finish in the top 10. Now, also the fact that you have no goals, no points. From most of the Arsenal fans I know, you're closer to sacking Arteta. And that's what most people want. So I don't know if that's necessarily the right thing. I'm not here to say if it is or isn't. But, I mean, if it was me, he's not the coach that I would want if that was my club, to be honest. He's 1-0. He was Pep's assistant, so what? There's more accomplished coaches, better coaches out there. So for me, from that standpoint, I mean, yeah, Leno actually played decent today. If not for him, I mean, it could have been 7 or 8 Manchester City goals. So I think that he has to figure out what his best 11 is, and then go from there. And Manchester City point of view, I mean, they just blitzed them. I'm so happy for Gabriel Jesus because I've seen him get stick for years. And he's still a young guy. He's developing. I know if he was English, he probably, people would be saying, oh, give him time, this, that, and the other. But him out there playing on the right, he's causing havoc. And, I mean, they just found themselves another winger. Um, Ferran Torres played decent through the middle today, but let's be honest, he's really not. He's not a striker. And I don't think that Manchester City needs a world-class striker to win the Premier League or to win the Champions League. Because the reality is, apart from Ederson, Ruben Diaz, and Kevin De Bruyne when he's fit, everyone else gets rotated. So Laporte played today. I think he's better than John Stones, personally. But John Stones didn't put a foot wrong last year, so it was if it's not broke, don't fix it type of situation. I don't see Laporte coming out of the team right now. So unless there's an injury. So for me, like, they really need what Manchester City needs is they need another option when teams sit deep to break down. They need like a Giroud type of player, Olivier Giroud type of player, where that can hold the ball up, link play, and is a target type man that they can put crosses in when, either they need to get a goal and people are sitting back or people are sitting back. The majority of teams they play will, have 10, 11 men behind the ball. So I don't necessarily think they needed a Harry Kane or a Ronaldo or Lewandowski. I mean, if they get one, it's over. The league's over if they get one of those caliber guys. But I mean, Pep does what Pep does, man. Pep's inevitable, man. His football is inevitable. And again, like I said, they have the most depth, and they rotate their players. Apart from Ederson, Diaz, and De Bruyne, who's nowadays getting up there in age, he's not always fit. Everyone else pretty much rotates. I think Gundogan these last 18 months, his form's been incredible and he's been scoring goals, so you can't really take him out of the team. But everyone else, you don't know who's going to play. Is Mahrez going to play on the right? Is Ferran Torres going to play on the right? Is Gabriel going to play on the right? Is Sterling going to play on the left? When Foden's fit, is he going to play on the left? Is Grealish going to play on the left? So you don't know. And then, and they're midfield with Rodri and Fernandinho, and then you got Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, Gundogan, and then you can play Foden or Grealish in there. Like they have the deepest team, no doubt about it. Their left back situation is a problem, but the fact that Cancelo, when if him and Kyle Walker are both fit, he can play there and slot in there, no problem. He played there today and was excellent. So, Man City blitzed Arsenal, pretty much the result I expected. I'm sure the result most people expected. So, not really a big deal. So there's not really much to talk about other than for diehard Arsenal fans, Arteta may be close to getting a sack. But I don't know. He seems like he's playing youth players, and they're trying to build something, and they look good at the beginning of the games. But I feel like once they give up a goal, their level just drops. Like they have to score the first goal. Like that, they've become a team that has to score the first goals. That's what it looks like. So we'll see, man. And then there was a lot of games to choose from. In that second tier of games, I decided to watch the West Ham game because I wanted to see, are they going to push on? Are they going to be serious contenders for top 4? Are they going to fall out of the top 6? And to be honest, Crystal Palace gave them a game. And I'll say this again. Again, you see the jerseys in the background. I have no bias, no agenda for specific teams. I don't understand why people rate Declan Rice so high. I don't get it. He's a good quality player. He runs hard. He hustles. He has a good defensive mind. He'll move the ball. But he doesn't do anything special. Like, the fact that people think he's an 80 to 100 pound, 100 million pound player is crazy to me. It's crazy. Like, when I watch him, and then I watch people like James Ward-Prowse or John Joe Shelby, and I think to myself, is he better than them? He's definitely not better than them on the ball. No chance. So I don't really get it. Like, when I think of teams, Chelsea, why would you buy him? He's not better than Kovacic. He's not better than Jorginho. He's not better than Conte. Why would you buy him? If Arsenal, maybe if you're going to play with a 3-man midfield and not play with a 10, because you just bought Lakanga, whose his passing range looks better than Rice, and then let's be honest, he's not as accomplished or the athlete that Thomas Partey is when he's fit. And then you go over to Manchester City, he's never getting in that team. Ever. He's never getting in that team. Can't pass the ball as well as Fernandinho or Rodri, and that's the only position in that team that he would play. Liverpool, I mean, maybe he maybe get, but he's levels lower than Fabinho, so he's not playing in that position. I mean, he's basically, I mean, Jordan Henderson's a little bit better than him, in my opinion. So really, Manchester United, I guess, but I wouldn't pay $100 million for him. He's better than McTominay, I would say, for sure. He's definitely better than McTominay. Is he better than Fred? It depends on the system, because people slander Fred, but the reality is, Brazil, would Declan Rice get caps for Brazil? I don't think so. And Brazil made it to the Copa America final, and Fred kept out of the team. He kept Fernandinho and Fabinho out the team. He played in the midfield 3 with Casemiro as the deepest, and then Fred played in the 8 where he should be playing. He's not a double pivot player. He's an 8 combative, box-to-box, run, close people down type of player. So Declan Rice isn't the athlete that Fred is. I mean, maybe he's a little bit better on the ball, but marginally. So I don't. Again, I'm not trying to slander Declan Rice. I think he's a good quality player, but I think West Ham is at his level. West Ham, Leicester, Everton, like that type of club. Like for the top 6 type of clubs to even be thinking about paying that type of bread for him is crazy to me. It's crazy. Like that kid Conor Gallagher, that's on loan at Crystal Palace. When I watch him play, and I watched him play last year for West Brom, he has way more in his locker than Declan Rice. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's an 8, but he has way more in his locker. Way more. And whatever they're doing at that Chelsea academy is crazy. If I'm Crystal Palace, honestly, like they played a good game. They probably should have won that game. They played a good game. If I'm Crystal Palace, I'm trying to get. I need more quality in my team. I do. Their problem is I'm afraid for Patrick Vieira because they don't have a lot of quality. When you're starting James McArthur, I mean, and then your options you're bringing in are Jeffrey Schlupp and things like that. Go slap 10, 15 million down and go buy Ruben Loftus-Cheek and go buy Ross Barkley from Chelsea. They don't need those guys. Go buy them. Go buy them because if they add a little bit more quality to their team, they'll stay up. They'll stay up. Otherwise, they're going to go down because apart from, moments of brilliance from Wilfred Zaha, they don't really have much because Eze's out for the majority of the season because he's tore his Achilles. So they don't have a lot of stardust in their team. So they need a couple more players. They need to help Patrick out. The Gurhey kid that they bought from Chelsea looks like he's going to be a really good player. And I like this kid Gallagher, man. He has a little spice to him. I like it. So I thought, and Antonio, from a West Ham point of view, Antonio's just a beast, man. The fact that they allowed him to change national teams and go to Jamaica is crazy. The fact that he's not getting caps for England makes no sense to me. Honestly, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense because based on form and what he's done in the Premier League since he's become a striker, I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't be getting caps. And he's versatile. He could play right back, right wing back. He could play in midfield. He could play on the wing. Like you bring a guy like that to tournaments, you could play him anywhere. And he's a handful. He's an absolute beast. Handful. I mean, he doesn't have the greatest touch. He doesn't have the greatest vision, but he gets his head down, runs at people, bullies people off the ball. Like, I don't know, man. Gareth Southgate, you messed up on that one. So yeah, man, I thought it was a fair result, but I thought Crystal Palace in the second half, man, they should have won that game. They definitely should have won that game. And then the third game, the big one that everyone wanted to watch. The Chelsea-Liverpool game. That was a great game, especially before Reece James got sent off. That game was That's what the Premier League's about, man. Those type of games, man. I love those type of games there. And again, no slander, unbiased. Someone tell me why, no matter what team or formation gets picked for Chelsea, Mason Mount plays every game. I don't get it. For the level, if he was playing for West Ham or Leicester or Everton or Newcastle or some mid-table team, even maybe Arsenal, I get it. But the quality that they have in their team, the Ziyech, the Pulisic, the Werners, all these guys, right? How is he on the team sheet no matter what? I'm confused. I don't get it. Because he's not exceptional at anything. He's not. I get it. He's versatile. Yeah, you can stick him in the midfield. You can play in the 8. You can play him in the 10. You can play him on the wing. But what does he do really well? He's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have electric pace. He has a decent touch, a decent shot. He's basically Jordan Henderson, but he's a better athlete, a slightly better athlete. And I'm again, there's no slander. I think he's a very good player, and I get it, passion, and he's doing it for the badge. He's Chelsea through and through. I understand, but the fact that he's getting picked, and I get it, 2 managers have picked this man, and I'm not. Well, Frank Lampard is debatable if he knows more than me, but I give Tuchel credit. But the fact that they have that quality in the team, and he's getting picked all the time, and he's not even getting subbed off. Jorginho had a hell of a game. I know he must be side-eyeing Thomas Tuchel like, why am I getting taken off? So, again, that game was great, and I there's no bias here. I watch the games, and again, I'm an eye test guy. Like, he's a good player. He's a quality player. He's the England international. I get all that. But for him to be playing week in, week out, no matter what, is crazy to me. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy. There's no reason that he should be playing week in, week out, no matter what. He's not at a Pogba level. He's not at a De Bruyne level. He's not at a Fabinho level. He's not even at a. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I like the kid. He's young. He's crafty. He's a good quality player, but he's never going to be a world-class player. Like, world-class players are the players that are supposed to play week in, week out, no matter what. Or if you're someone who's delivering all the time, like a Mo Salah, who just scores goals. I mean, he goes missing in games sometimes, but he's inevitable. He's someone that I don't necessarily rate in terms of everything that he gives the team, but he's clinical, man. And you need people like that in the team. And as much as I like Firmino, I thought, I thought Klopp made a mistake, man. You got to start Jota. Jota scored two goals on a bounce, 2 games in a row. So you got to keep guys on the pitch when they're scoring. So I thought he made a mistake in regards to that. I do rate Firmino higher than Jota, but the fact that he was in, that vein of form, scoring goals, you got to keep him on the pitch, man. And I got to say, Trent Alexander is. Last year he got torn to pieces, man. He's doing well, man. He's doing well. He's instant. He's instant offense, man. Instant offense. He touches the ball. It's on his right foot. Boom, it's out. He's special, man. From an attacking point of view, he's special, man. And Virgil looks like Van Dijk looks like he's back to himself, man. He looks quality. And Lukaku gave them guys all he can handle, man. Lukaku, his first touch again today, not the greatest at all times, but when I tell you, man, he ran those channels. He gave those guys. I know Matty, he's gonna need an ice bath after today, man, because Lukaku was giving him everything he was worth, man. But it was a quality game, and I think that if not for that red card, I think Chelsea would have won that game. Honestly, I think Chelsea would have won that game. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't Tuchel when they went down to 10 million, he just didn't add a little bit more pace. Like I'm like, I get it, this Mount kid, but you got people that can change the game on the bench, man. So, that's my recap for the day. And I look forward to watching, some games tomorrow, Tottenham game, Manchester United game. We'll see what happens, but man, I thought it was a good Saturday of football. And I'll catch you guys most likely probably tomorrow. Unapologetic gent, man. I'm out.